Hello there, it's me DeoGenZ, and it's time to play some more Analogue, a hate story. More read than play, but hey, it's kind of like an audiobook for all you watching at home. Must say, this is a very fascinating game in that it doesn't really have much gameplay to it, but it's an interactive story that definitely does shift. I want you all to know it does shift dependent on the choices you make. So there are multiple options for endings, and there are multiple paths of dialogue here. And it's really a testament to how excellent this game is, that we can just be entertained simply by text. I want to know what you guys think so far of this game. It is an indie-developed game by Christine Love, and man, it'd be excellent to get an interview with her, because this is a crazy story, and it is an entertaining game, but I want to know what you guys think. So, let's move on to these new log documents that Mute has provided with us. Morning dress. And that is not morning as in, oh, it's morning, wake up, make me toast. It's mourning the death of someone. By Ryu Jiawei. Normally, my conversations with Mute are of a rather frivolous nature. Gossip in the affairs of some of the more important noble houses, as well as her trying to bait whatever she is able out of me. While I think such a flow of information is valuable, so I might pass news to my husband that he might not otherwise hear. I would not consider her attitude to have any resemblance to seriousness. Previously, I had assumed that this was simply impossible due to her nature. While I do not really understand how, despite her explanations, anyone could live inside a computer screen, she says, that she is an artificial person. I had assumed that, perhaps, her absence of a soul prevented her from feeling serious emotions. Ordinarily, she wears incredibly bold, colorful clothing, her golden hair absurdly well adorned. For the past month, however, she has been uncharacteristically humble, wearing unappealing brown dress, with her hair undecorated. My curiosity got the better of me at last. Please, I have wondered, why are you so attired? It is unlike you, I asked. She gave me an odd look. Huh? She asked. It's morning dress. That much was obvious, and not particularly the thrust of my question. Did you not tell me you were thousands of years old, and that you have no family? For what reason are you wearing mourning? She gave me an annoyed look. A friend of mine died, okay? No, I don't have family. It's always been just me. But this guy was a really good friend, and he definitely deserves that kind of respect, she said. We were super close. Do you wish to tell me about him? I asked. She gave me another look that I couldn't quite read, but seemed somehow sad. Nah, she said. I don't want to talk about it. Not now. I miss him too much. Hey, I'm going to go now, okay? I'll talk to you later. I said goodbye to her, and she disappeared from the computer screen. But as she did, I could have sworn that I saw her start to cry. Well, yeah. She probably did see me cry. I had a really hard time talking about it then, especially not to my mistress. I really didn't mean to be so vulnerable in front of her. That just isn't proper. Kind of embarrassing, really. I'm sure you've already guessed, but yeah, the man in question was Smith Sang-jung. Strictly speaking, there was no real mourning obligation. It's not like I was really family. Still, the man was the closest thing to a husband to me. I mean, don't take this the wrong way. It's hardly scandalous. I'm not a real woman, I'm just a computer. But we had a really close relationship. So, yeah, I thought it'd be appropriate if I honored him like he was. He never married, so it's not like anyone else would. I just figured the man deserved that much. He totally deserved at least that much. Yeah, she's got quite the affinity for him. I didn't know that artificial intelligences could have feelings. I mean, I've seen comments saying that's what makes an AI, but I thought an AI was something like a pre-programmed set of behaviors, not necessarily being able to feel or develop relationships. This really must be a high-tech computer system. Letter to Sang Min from Smith Sang Hai. Oh, dearest brother of mine, as I'm sure you know, it's been 3 years since my husband died. I still mourn him in my heart, of course, and I'm sure I will forever, but the official mourning period's over. You probably also know that the Huang family isn't doing very well right now. Terribly, in fact, and it only got worse when my husband died. It didn't help that we only had daughters, so I don't exactly have a son to look after me. Right now, I'm completely at the mercy of his parents, and well, as I said, no son. They only took me in because of that big dowry. They sure never liked me, and it's only gotten worse. Way worse. So I need you to help me out, Min, or they're going to just abandon me. Do you remember that story we read together as a child about that widow who had to turn to begging? I'm sure you remember how it ended. Well, that's going to be me at this rate. Don't worry, though. I have a plan. I've talked to my husband's brother about this, and also I managed to discreetly fish some information out of his parents. They'd be willing to let me get married to him, and all you need to do is chip in a new dowry. 1.5 times the old one would be enough. Please respond as soon as possible, little brother, because I really need your help here. Love, Sang He, or Sang Hai. Man, that is such a shitty situation. So awful that the females in this society can't move anywhere without the dictation of men. I mean, they just have no other options but to become courtesans, really. Or, as Sang He said, beggars on the street. This is the response to Sang He. Or is it Sang He or Sang Hai? Comment below. I'm going to say Sang Hai. From Smith Sang Min. Sister Sang Hai, calm down. They may not be nice, but I'm sure they're not going to kick their son's widow out on the street. Do you have any idea how terrible that would look for them? It would be a huge disgrace on their name. As for remarrying, I'm sorry, but that's a lot of money you're asking. Besides, you know how much remarriage is looked down upon. Chaste widowhood may be a difficult standard to hold yourself to, but you will be honored forever if you can manage it. And if anyone is good enough to live up to that standard, I know it's you, big sister. Cheapskate here. I wish I could give you an easier way out, but I hope you realize it's for the best that way. Man, she's got to stay with shitty parents-in-law that treat her like garbage, possibly going to send her out on the street, and all he can say is, you will be honored for doing what you hate to do. That's some bullshit right there. Here's the second letter to Sang Min. Smith Sang Hai. Oh, generous and benevolent young brother of mine. Is that a sarcastic line? Because he is none of those things from that past letter. I know you think I'm being hysterical and exaggerating. I'm not, I promise. It's funny you mentioned the importance of chaste widowhood, because they've talking about that? I think there's supposed to be a bin in there. Editing mark! Anyway, because they've been talking about that too. Of course, I don't think you've got the same ideas in mind. They're talking about the sort that ends in an honorable suicide. Actually, they've been talking about it a lot. We could, of course, go with that option, take my own life to honor his memory. Would you like to help me out with that? I'm not really very good at either holding knives or tying nooses ever since the arthritis got serious, but if you could help out, that plan could work. Whew, that's dark. If you're too busy to help out your sister kill herself, though, you could just do the next best thing and send that dowry. I'm sure somehow you'll manage to figure out a way to find the money. I have faith in you, little brother. I remind you again, of course, that appealing to that family's honor is a waste of time. Father married me to a merchant, remember? You're talking about honor, but trust me, I've lived in this house for over 2 decades, and I've looked everywhere, even under the sitting cushions. They just don't have any. So I'm going to ask you once more, little brother. You can either send me a new dowry, or failing that, come by with a nice sharp knife. But if you can't bring yourself to do at least one of those things, then my destitution is on your head. Do you think Father would be proud of that? You are the son. You tell me. With love, your sister sang hi. This chick sang hi. I'm glad that she's feisty and making her brother bring the comeuppance. Not that her situation is really that great, and it would be awesome to see her completely strike out, go bold, and go on her own, but in this society, women's self-sufficiency is just not a situation that could be had. So let's see what he has to say to that. Sister, you're going to be the death of me, but I won't be the death of you. Fine, I'll figure something out. Tell his parents that I can offer them as much as the old dowry. I'll send a messenger by next week to work out the delivery of it. You're such a woman. Do you know that? Manipulative to the core. That's what you are. The death of me, I swear. Dude, that's your sister, but, you know, I gotta remember, sisters are not the same thing in this society. Sisters are seen as much less. Seen as probably something that shouldn't have been had in the family. But that is some of the depressing and hardcore letters from Smith Sang Hi and back and forth with Smith Sang Min. In the next episode, however, we will be going over this Block 10 to see what Ryu Jiaowei has to say to our pale bride friend Hayune. Catch you next time.